Good Monday evening, everyone. It is March the 6th, and man, what a gorgeous day out there today. 60s, 70s, 80s out there, big time warmth, which I showed the supporters that I was going to do this week. And then we're in for below average temperatures as we go into 6 to 10 day, even the 10 to 14 day and beyond. I will show you some hints of that here later, but let's get into current weather across the area. But first, on YouTube, hit that like button, that thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, it is free. Hit that subscribe button, click that all notifications, and you will be notified every time we go live or post content, short range content on YouTube. Also, if you want to support the work we do for you on Facebook, there's a link over there, or you can go to the home page, Home Snowbird Bob page on Facebook. There's a subscribe button on the home page as well. It's $4.99 a month on Facebook. Get long range content. We talk about a lot of things on there that I normally don't talk about in the public posts. Snow threats, cold airs, or like hot, warm, warm spells that come, and then we have long range content goes over first the up to 14 days, then we go into for the next 45 days, 30 to 45 days we look at. You get seasonal content. You get, like I said, we're having a hurricane outlook coming out in the next few weeks. And plus we have subscriber only giveaways that we do from time to time. So if you want to become a subscriber or a supporter, it's $4.99 a month, cheaper than your normal Starbucks drink for a month, basically, for subscription for us on Snowbird Bob. Now, if you're on YouTube, you want to support us over on YouTube, click that join button, and there's several levels of ways you can support the work we do for you, and you'll get the same content and the same long range content, all what the supporters get on Facebook, you will get on YouTube as well. All right, let's get into current weather. Let's talk about that, then we'll get into what's going to happen later this weekend as well. All right, here's the current hazard map for the United States. We have winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings up here towards South Dakota, with a kind of like a little clipper system coming through. Also, a little quick hitting snow out here in Pennsylvania. Very narrow band of snow. It's going to produce 6+ inches in northern parts of Pennsylvania up here. Also, you got flood advisories out here for the Mississippi River even now, and we're going to talk about more flooding rains in some of the same areas mid to late of this week. Also, another storm system coming into California. There has been a lot of snow this past 2 weeks, above about 1,000 to 2,000 feet in elevation, feet and feet and feet of snow. Now there's a warmer system coming in, and snow levels are going to jump up to about 8,000 feet. So anything below that, there is feet and feet of snow on the ground, and there's going to be rain. It's going to rain 3 to 5 inches, basically above about 3 to 8,000 feet, and there's going to be rapid snow melt. There's going to be a lot of flooding concerns in California, and a lot of those reservoirs will definitely get filled up. Now, plus we're going to have this summer snow melt too. There's epic amounts of snow in California this year, so their drought is disappearing very quickly in that part of the country. Now we're going to have a storm system come through mid to late week. Basically, numerous rounds of showers and thunderstorms possible, with a lot of rain coming to a lot of places that are extremely super saturated across parts of the area here. So let's take a look at severe weather, because there's going to be a little bit of that the next few days. All right, and the active weather starts tomorrow. There's a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms basically Tuesday evening across parts of northwestern Texas into southwestern and central Oklahoma. So what's basically going to happen here is a couple strong storms may impact parts of northwest Texas and southwestern into central Oklahoma Tuesday evening, posing at least some risk of severe weather, mainly in the form of large hail. Okay. Now let's look into Wednesday night. Marginal risk of severe thunderstorms for southwest Texas into southeastern parts of Oklahoma. This is including Abilene, Midland, down to Fort Stockton, Wichita Falls, just southeast of Oklahoma City, and bleeding into just basically along the Red River here, just north of Dallas as well. Isolated severe thunderstorms will be possible Wednesday to Wednesday night from, like I said, from southwest Texas into southeast Oklahoma. Hail is probably going to be the main threat here. Yep, large hail and some gusty winds with these thunderstorms as well. Probably up to like 40, 50, maybe some isolated spots up to 60 miles an hour. But the main risk is going to be large hail here and, of course, training of some of these storms as well. So some flooding concerns will be coming into the area, and I will show you that, especially as we go to Oklahoma, Arkansas, southern Missouri, where you're already totally saturated from this last round. Had a lot of flooding over the week or late last week and over the weekend. And now we're going to get some more rain on top of that, which will easily run off because of the saturated conditions. Now, the good news for this week, it's been a long time since I said this. It doesn't appear likely at all that we're going to have a major severe weather outbreak this week. So we're going to get a break, but heavy rain, and there's going to be some storms out there, but the risk will be large hail across some of these marginal risk areas over the next few days. Now, this is rainfall over the next week, and a lot of it's going to come mid to late this week. So basically from eastern Oklahoma, northeastern parts of Texas, through northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, through Tennessee, northern Mississippi, through northern parts of Alabama, over towards Georgia. And then you start getting lighter amounts as you get over towards the Carolinas and Virginia. But 2 to 4 inches of rain is likely, with isolated probably 5 to 6 inch amounts, especially across northern Arkansas as we go mid to late this week. So more flooding rain is possible. And like I said, a lot of these same areas, especially from eastern Oklahoma through northern half of Arkansas, through Tennessee, northern Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi here, ground is completely saturated. And like I said, after that rain we had last week, I went out to my yard and stepped down, and it was like the grass was like a sponge. All this water was just seeping out of the ground, so it's not going to take much to get the ground super saturated yet again, and it's going to run off pretty quickly. We're going to have some flash flooding issues mid to late this week. Alrighty, I'm going to do the central part of the area here. This is just a GFS model, but I'm going to do the central part of the area here, then I'm going to do the east. So this is today into tomorrow, nothing going on. But as you get into tomorrow night, late tomorrow night, or tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, storms are going to start popping here into Oklahoma, and then start basically training up into Arkansas as you go into Tuesday, Wednesday. Very heavy rains across Oklahoma here. And then that's bleeding into parts of Arkansas, southern Missouri, up here in Iowa, towards basically south central parts of Illinois. You got probably some rain snow mix up here, snow up in the northern plains here, and then snow looks like back into Colorado. And then this kind of just heads south and then goes towards Mississippi, Alabama. And then here comes more rain coming, more very heavy rain coming for northern parts of Arkansas through Oklahoma, over towards Tennessee, southern Missouri, over towards Alabama and northern Mississippi as we head through Thursday into Friday now. This is early Friday morning, still raining across northeastern parts of Texas, Arkansas, most of the deep south, as this next storm system is really laying down a lot of snowpack up here in the northern parts of the country, setting the stage for these cooler or cold shots that are going to come down as we head into next week. Now, as we head towards Saturday, kind of cools down for the weekend. A lot of this, the cold air that's going to be coming, especially next week and the week after as well. It's going to be a real big shock to the system because we are getting so used to being in the 60s, 70s, and 80s across the region. And when we knock those temperatures back 30, 40 something degrees for highs possibly, as we go forward, it's going to be a shock to the system. So here we are this late this week, and then as we head, like I said, toward the late weekend, here comes another little clipper system coming down. Could be some snow up here towards St. Louis, eastern parts of Missouri, down towards Kentucky and Tennessee as we head until next week, and I'll have more on that in the supporter hub when I do another long range for the supporters tomorrow. But all in all, the models are struggling with this pattern, and plus all the teleconnections are tanking. They're going negative. So some of this cold air is just lagging. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But as we head into next week and beyond, I think we're going to really start dialing back temperatures as well. Of course, as we get a lot of rain through the area this week as well, it's going to knock back temperatures big time as well. So basically temperature anomalies. I mean, we're going to be warm in Texas, 10 to 15, 20 degrees above normal. I knew this was going to happen this week. Plus, we're going to have basically a boundary set up across parts of this area. And then, like I said, it's going to slowly cool down as we head towards Friday, Saturday, back to normals, and then starting to get 5 to 7 degrees below normal as we head to the weekend. And then it's going to briefly warm up. This high pressure is starting to build over the southwest United States. And I've been talking about this for the past month, this 5 weeks or so in the supporter hub about what the pattern is going to happen or be. And the southeastern ridge is going to get a beat down. And then the southwest is going to start getting a high pressure over there. And they're starting to bump up above normal over the southwestern parts of the United States. And then as we go, here's a brief look at next week. As we head into the next week, here comes the next cold shot, and it's going to mean business. We're talking 12 to possibly 20 below average as we head into next week. So stay tuned on that. Like I said, I'll have a lot more on the supporter hub. I've been posting usually daily on some things I've been seeing, bits and pieces I've been seeing. Plus, here's another hint. This could be possible high temperatures beginning to mid-late next week. So like I said, the cold is coming. If it gets this cold, you're going to have frost and freezes down south here, even into Louisiana, Texas, parts of Alabama, Georgia, into Mississippi, and of course, north of I-40. As you get north of I-40, more and more, your chances will go up at the possibilities of maybe some winter precip. But like I said, I'll have more on that in the supporter hub in the long range. Okay, so here's just a glimpse at what may be coming. This is not my forecast. It's just one model run. But I'm just showing you what is happening over the next 7 days or so across the area. The GFS paints a really similar picture on rainfall, 2 to 4 inches, maybe locally 5, maybe 6 across the area. But this is going to mean more flooding across Arkansas, possibly Oklahoma, into Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia as we go through the rest of this week into the weekend. Now, here's possible snow over the next 7 days. Not my forecast, just showing you the possibilities. Like I said, this weekend we might have a sneaky shot of snow down through eastern Missouri, through southern parts of Illinois, into Kentucky. But do not just see this picture and say this is going to happen. It is not going to happen this way because models are struggling with the upcoming pattern, and this is going to change a million times between now and the weekend, okay? But what is known is there's going to be a lot of snowpack building basically from I-80 north, and as these cold shots come down, it's not going to modify over this snowpack and then come screaming south and east as we go into next week. So something to keep in mind as well. All right, let's take a look at the east. Carolinas, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, up towards Ohio and Georgia. So basically we are nothing really going on right now for the next couple of days. And then as it said, those systems out west I just went over. And then as we go into Friday and this weekend, that's when our rain chances go up, and we might have some cold air damming coming into parts of Virginia, into West Virginia, parts of Maryland, and some snow mixed with sleet possibly up here towards central Pennsylvania. A lot of snow up here in Michigan. Like I said, I-80 and north, especially across the northern plains out here, is going to get some major snowpack and laid down ahead of this cold snap that's going to be coming. Okay, so this is Friday going into Saturday. Now the models have been hinting at a possible coastal storm trying to develop out here just off of basically Delaware to New Jersey. The snow on the backside, possibly some snow banking up against the mountains here in West Virginia. Some snow up here in northeastern parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania. And then this thing has it just rocking towards the coast and then dumping a lot of snow up here in New England as we go into this weekend. But we will see. Like I said, models are just horrible past about 2 to 3 days anymore. So stay tuned on that. But the cold air is going to be sucking in here, basically damming down, banking up against these mountains here. So there's going to be some cold air around across the parts of the North Carolina and Virginia into West Virginia and Pennsylvania. And then here comes this next system that could produce some more snow into West Virginia, and then a bigger cold shot coming next week, with possibly another coastal low trying to develop with some snow on the backside. But the 540 thicknesses are getting all the way down into central Georgia, South Carolina. And if this happens, there's going to be some deadly frost and freezes that's going to happen early to mid next week. So be prepared on that and stay tuned. I'll have more on that. And if you're a supporter, you've known this is coming. So we're just seeing where the possible winter weather could be at this point. But for our public followers, get ready. The cold air is coming, possibly 10 to 20, at times possibly 25 to 30 below average is possible across the area, especially the southeast, where you guys have not seen winter at all. Okay, you've not seen hardly any cold shots at all across the southeast, and looks like March is going to bring that for you across the area, which there's a lot of foliage that's come out even all the way up into Virginia, into parts of southern Ohio. Some trees are starting to come out even that far north, which is about 21 days ahead of schedule. 3 weeks ahead of schedule. Southern Indiana through southern Illinois through basically I-70 across Missouri and south. A lot of foliage is starting to come out. So if we get some frost and freezes, it's going to be a devastating frost and freeze across the area. And February set the stage for this massive, basically foliage outbreak. Everything's coming out. And I knew that was trouble because we always, whenever that happens, we always set the stage for late frost and freezes. We go into March and April. So be prepared on that. Here's possible precipitation over the east for the next seven or so days. Pretty good rain around northern parts of Georgia into South Carolina, maybe 1 or 2 inches. But as you get up towards Virginia, we're talking maybe a 1/10 to a 1/4 inch possible. And then maybe a lot of this could be some snow up here in West Virginia. Okay. Then as you get towards Florida, this Gulf Coast here, and then towards the southeastern coast, Atlantic coast here, basically 1/2 inch to 1 inch is possible. And you get down towards Florida on hardly nothing, maybe a 1/10 to a 1/4 of an inch down there. All right, here's anomalies this weekend. Blue is below average. You can see -7, -7, -7.2 up here towards Tennessee into Kentucky. The greens are 8 to 10 below average. So here comes the cooler air coming in. Basically 8 below average in Atlanta as we get to this weekend. And then this stuff's starting to bleed east. Look at this, 10 to 15 below average, possibly 15 to 20 below average up here in West Virginia, western parts of Virginia, into western half of the Carolinas here, northern parts of Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky. You guys have not dealt with this kind of air, below average air, basically most of the winter. You guys have been above average most of the winter down here with that southeastern ridge, but this southeastern ridge is getting a beat down, and that ridge is starting to pop over the southwestern parts of the United States. So, like I said, this is this weekend, and then as you go into next week, here comes some more cold air. This is going to be warm. It's going to warm up ahead of the system across the deep south here, but then it should cool right back down behind it. As you can see, you pop about 10 to 15 above normal for a day, and then you're back to 15 below normal right behind it. So this cold air is coming, and it just keeps on. It just keeps on giving. Look at this. 10 to 15 below, possibly 20 below normal as we head to next Tuesday across the deep south here, and then it's going to start bleeding east as we head forward. Look at this, 20 below average as we head to middle of next week across the Carolinas. So cool air is coming. You guys have not dealt with this yet, and I'm really getting concerned about a frost and freeze potential with a lot of foliage that's already came out. This could be a damaging freeze and a frost across the area. So need to pay attention, especially when we go into next week across the southeast. This is not my forecast, this is one model run. Like I said, we're going to have some snow down in basically the spine Appalachians here, especially in West Virginia. And then, like I said, sneaky snow coming across into Kentucky, and then basically up into Pennsylvania, Ohio, Northeast Ohio looks to get smashed over the next week with 6 to 12 inches of snow totally over the next 7 days. And then as you get basically into northern Pennsylvania through New York, and as if this coastal storm really wraps up, it's really going to take a dumping on the Northeast, especially this weekend. But stay tuned on that. Hopefully you all could see this, but in MJO we are in phase 7 right now, which is a little bit warmer phase, and then the MJO is going to be screaming into 8 as we head late this week into next week, and then the 8, 1, and 2 is basically the colder phases, and MJO has been struggling to get into these phases this winter. But this thing's going to be coming into 8, 1, and 2, so the cool down looks to last probably after mid-month through the rest of the month and possibly into early April. I will have, like I said, the supporters have known about this for a while, and I will have another supporter hub video coming out probably tomorrow on the colder weather that's coming. Okay, so that's basically it for now. Thank you so much. That's basically the weather for this week into this weekend. Warmer than average. Then this boundary's going to come in. Lots of rain across the area. 2 to 4+ inches. That's going to be the big story this week. In fact, let's take a look at it again. Like I said, 2 to 4, possibly isolated 5 inch to 6 inch amounts across eastern Oklahoma into Arkansas, northern half of Arkansas, and then 2 to 4 inches basically east of there, east of the Mississippi towards Tennessee, Kentucky, or Tennessee into Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky up here, basically 1 inch to 2 inches across southern half of the state, and then towards the Carolinas, 1 inch to 2 inches as we head. This is for the next 7 days, but a lot of this will come, especially across the central part of the area here, mid to late this week. Okay, and then the west is getting absolutely pounded with more heavy snows, flooding, and just crazy stuff that's happening out there. I've seen some videos. There is so much snow out there, it's unfathomable. I mean, to even see it through a video, but then actually witness it firsthand would be crazy. But there is a ton of snow out there. So, like I said, that drought's really taking a beating out here in California. All right, but on the other side, back here towards our viewing area, back here, western Texas into western Oklahoma, into New Mexico, is still have a drought that's still happening. And there's no real rain in sight across the western parts of that area. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. And if, like I said, if you'd hit that like button on YouTube, please, thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, it is free. Hit that subscribe button. Click all on notifications, and you'll be notified every time we post content on YouTube. All right. All right, guys. Have a great Monday evening. And hopefully you enjoyed today, because the weather is going to be going probably downhill as we go through the rest of the week, and possibly, and then into next week, as well as cooler than normal air is finally getting into the region after basically a record-breaking February.